Hi and welcome to PG6S channel. It's going to be a discussion on budget guns. I have here a pretty good assortment of budget guns and stand-ins for budget guns. So before you comment and say, "What? That SIG is an expensive 22. Yeah, I know. I'll explain it here in a minute. Okay. The stand-ins are because I don't own a couple of the bigger budget guns. Like in the back there, it's a Benelli M1 Super 90. I don't own a pump-action shotgun right now, but it's a great budget gun because you can get a pump-action 12 gauge for well under $200 usually at any gun show. If you're talking about like a Mossberg Maverick or something like that, especially 870s or Mossberg 500s, you're probably talking more around 300. But especially used, even sometimes you can get those guns for a good 200 bucks. The SIG there is standing in for the Ruger 1022. I don't own a Ruger 1022 because I own that gun, and in my opinion it's a better gun. Mainly because it has a folding stock from the factory, has great iron sights from the factory. I don't have to do anything to it, besides maybe put a red dot on it at some point in the future, which I don't think I'm going to do now. I had an aim point on there for a while, and I don't know, I like the iron sights on that gun so much I just couldn't keep it. The stand-in. Oh, this is the 1911 I just got finished building. It's Colt parts on a Caspian frame. It's awesome, but it's standing in for a Rock Island 1911, which some of you are going to say, well, that's an expensive handgun. It is and it isn't. We'll cover that a little bit later. The Winchester here is standing in for all the cheap lever actions of the world. This one is not a cheap one. That's probably a $1,200, Winchester 1873. But there's so many cheap-ass lever actions out there that are great guns. Most of them are in 30-30. That I have to have a lever action in here someplace. Okay, that's pretty much all the stand-ins. So let's talk about these. Let's start with handguns. Let's start off with the 1911. Why not? Let's start at the top. This is in here because as far as combat quality handguns go, this is about as cheap as it gets. The Rock Island is. You might say, well, 1911 is not a combat handgun. Yeah, let's not have that argument here. Yes and no. This is better than that by a whole lot. Is it the greatest gun in the world? No. But, for 400 bucks you pay for a Rock Island, you're getting a lot of value, in my opinion. The same thing if you got like a Gen 3 Glock at a decent price. These are top-end budget guns. Moving on down the road, there's surplus guns. This is an Astra, model 600. 9mm Luger, 8 shots, blowback action. The Star Model B, the Ballester Molina, what else? All the Makarov, Tokarov, especially like the little Yugo ones that are so cheap right now. Those all fall into these surplus guns that are around $200 to $300. Okay, I got this for $200 at a gun show. Came with an extra magazine and a holster. This is why I don't like high points. We'll get to that one here in a second because I know there's at least a couple of you going, PG6, you bought another high point? Yes, I bought another high point. Don't give me shit about it. I got shit when I was filling out the 4473 about it. Anyway, I think these are great guns. This one in particular is a little bit of a shitty shooter just because it's a blowback and blowbacks suck. But the Star Model B is a great handgun. So is the Ballester Molina, so is the Tokarev, and so is the Makarov. So don't forget about surplus handguns. Yeah, I'll leave it out. Next, the high point. What is this gun? This gun is a brick that shoots 9mm that gets you a better gun. That's literally what it is. If the Chinese invaded tomorrow, you could shoot somebody and get his AK. I picked this up for $100 plus tax. at that price, it's hard to argue with. And my intention is basically probably to flip it and make some money. But for now, it's a great cash gun. I mean, if you want to like bury a Liberator someplace in a 50 cal can, this is your gun. Either this or a Nagant revolver. It's kind of a piece of shit, but it is what it is. This is the best of the cheap piece of shit handguns. You know, when it comes to, you know, Raven versus Jimenez versus High Point versus Cobra versus, fuck, I can't remember all of them. Any of the Saturday night special type of guns, this is the best of them. Okay? It's kind of hard to debate that at this point. I mean, it has a pretty good track record. It is a piece of shit. Okay? Even the best piece of shit with the best warranty is still a piece of shit. Sorry, I have to say that. That pretty much covers handguns. We didn't talk about revolvers. Shit. I was going to talk about revolvers. I could go grab the revolver. Just a second. I'll be right back. I'm going to stop the tape. Okay. Now, thanks to the magic of editing, that seamless transition is done. And that is our revolver. This is a Taurus. I don't remember the model number. It's not my gun. This is a gun of a family member who lives in my house. Yeah, I don't really give a shit. It's a Taurus copy of a Smith & Wesson. I really am not a big revolver fan, but you can score one of these for $200. It's a great option. Particularly an older Taurus like that. Matt from Never Enough Ammo has one of those. In fact, I think it's in his budget gun series as well. So, if you want to know more about that, I'd go watch his video because he actually likes it. Like I said, I'm not a big revolver fan, but it'll get the job done, and, you know, there's not too much else to say about it. It's hard to argue with 357 Magnum. Okay? Now that's the end of the handgun discussion. You know, those are your options. Some good, some bad. Now let's eliminate some guns from the rifles here so I can talk about all of them. I'm going to try to eliminate the stand-ins. The 1022, or in our case the SIG 522, but it's representing the 1022, is the everyman's rifle. I mean, pretty much anybody could afford to buy a 1022 if you have a job. Little caveat there. It's a great gun. I have nothing against 1022s. It's not the cheapest 22. It's a pretty good gun. Reliable as hell. BX-25 magazines rock. If you don't modify the hell out of it, it's a pretty cheap gun. What I mean by that is, you know, if you buy a 1022 and then try to turn it into this, it's going to cost more than this. I mean, if you put like a Troy rail on it and get a bunch of Magpul shit and go like super tactical ninja-fied on it, it's not the best budget gun. But if you leave it looking all steel and wood like the rest of these guns, shit yeah, it's a great budget gun. Gone. Okay, now we're going to talk about 12 gauge pump action shotguns. I'm going to swing this around to the front here. Sorry if my audio just like went to shit. I have this thing because I can afford it and it's really nice. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with having a Mossberg 500 or a Remington 870 or a Mossberg Maverick or an H&R Partner pump. Okay, they're all great guns. They're all under $300, and if you could only own one gun out of this whole thing, there's a strong case to be made for the pump action shotgun. There's enough said about that pretty much. Now we're getting down to the 4 I think you should really pay attention to. 3 of these guns are under 100, or right at or under can't talk. 3 of these guns are right at or under $100. This one, single shot 22, kind of a piece of crap. This is the first gun I ever owned. I got this when I was 7. So, you know, it's a little small for me now, but for the money, you really couldn't beat that. Because if I sold that at a gun show right now, it'd be $75 probably. Maybe $100 tops. You should definitely get a single shot bolt action 22. I mean, just for the money spent, you can't beat it. It kicks the shit out of a 10-22, mainly because you conserve your ammo. And if you're buying budget guns, you don't have much money, you don't have much ammo. At the end of this, I'm going to kind of bring back the guns that I think you should buy to build a budget arsenal sort of thing. Next, this is our last stand-in. That was better where it was. The Marlin 336, especially the Marlin 336W, which is like the Walmart version, is super cheap. Pawn shops all across America sell these for $2.25 all day long. If I was only going to buy one gun, for me personally, it might be a Marlin 336. I probably wouldn't pick the shotgun. Although it's a good choice, it's just not my style. I'd rather have the range and power of a rifle. I love lever action, so I especially love this lever action. But you can pretty much forget about getting any pistol caliber lever action if you're on a budget. Your choices are the Marlin 336 or the Winchester 94. And the Winchester 94 is going to be more ammo, and you aren't going to be able to mount a scope on it as easy. So, personally, I'd get a Marlin 336 and run it with iron sights. Okay, now to the two best budget guns on the table: the Dave Canterbury Special and the granddaddy of all budget guns, the Mosin Nagant. The single shot H&R 12 gauge is a great thing. You should own one of these. Pretty much. I mean, for the $80 to $100 spent, great gun. You can shoot anything out of it you want. The adapters, Dave Canterbury, Wilderness Outfitters at YouTube sells for them are awesome. I'm here pretty soon going to kind of do my own version of that and kind of twist on it. Stay subscribed, but basically I don't need all the adapters he has, and there's a single shot 223 I think is a lot more interesting. Stay subscribed. But anyway, great gun, you should own one. And the same thing goes for the Mosin. Mosin Nagant, this one in the back is a 9130. It's all greased up still. I haven't cleaned it yet. Got this the other day. One of these is pretty much about the best $100 you could spend. It doesn't really get better than that. My battery alert is blinking at me. So let's quickly build up our budget arsenal. Obviously these two are on there. And obviously the High Point has to be in there, along with the single shot 22. All those guns right there bring you to about probably $500. If you have an extra couple $100 to spend, I'd get a lever action. This has been Peter's Six Nights channel. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and don't forget to thumbs up the video.